What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and my Hardcore Dryad. We are here on Survival, Wave number 1 in my Hardcore Dryad series. Now, obviously, Survival is go until you lose, so with the spirit of this Hardcore playthrough, I'm going to have to leave the match before I lose the match. So with that in mind, I started at wave 1, and the goal here is 100% to just get myself a thick vines. So let's go ahead and build it out and see what we can do here. Now, basically, we are guaranteed a loss as soon as we get hex throwers, no doubt. So with that in mind, we're going to have to leave before we get to that point. That's why I started at wave 1. The survival shards you can get out of any survival bag. So we're not, you don't have to do like high wave survival or whatever to get a specific shard that you're looking for. Any of them will work. And we are going to get it going here with a bunch of bees. See, we're going to have to prepare for cyborgs as well. I think we're just going to have to tough it out. Like cyborg, stuff like that. Let's see. Actually, I've got enough left for 3 more. But is that what I want to do? I kind of feel like it is. I think it is what I want to do. Let's see. Let's go 2 here, and we'll slap another one there. Where do we want another? Let's just throw it, like, right there. Something like that. So, all right, there's all 600. Obviously, it's going to be a snooze fest for the first bunch of waves. So I will edit this one down and jump through it. I'm assuming it's probably going to take me an hour or whatever to run this map. I don't want to put out an hour video of me just sitting here AFK on these trees. So with that in mind, we will definitely jump forward and edit this one out. The main thing is we want to get as many, we want to go through as many every 5 waves as we can. So every 5 waves, of course, we have a chance of getting that thick vine shard, and that is what I'm looking for. Yeah, let's let it fly, and we'll see how this goes here. All right, and here we go, our first ever survival bag coming at the end of this wave. Maybe, just maybe, the game will be absolutely glorious and just give me thick vines, and then I can pop out of this and be done with this run. Because, like I said, I'm not really going to get any loot. I might get some loot at the end of it, but being a hardcore playthrough, I don't think I'm going to risk it super long. So I'm just specifically going just to get that survival shard. So I just been AFKing it out on top of this tree. We did get a Slakelion spawn, as you saw at the beginning of the wave. So we've got a Slakelion to deal with for a few waves, and he will no doubt inch his way forward. But yeah, we're just chillaxing it out. This is Chaos 1, basically. So, we're in Chaos 4 through Chaos 6 gear, meaning this is just full-on AFK. Just sit here and let it run. And, yeah, let it run and reap rewards. I will have to do a bit of selling, as my inventory is going to fill up pretty quick. And so far, just spamming upgrades. In fact, I've just wasted some of the mana just hitting G and not bothering to go and pick it up. I know that I'll get everything upgraded. It's just, matter of when. So, here we go. 1 more mob left. And see what we get. The old plain bag. Looking to check for 10 out of 10 mods. But let's see. And we got Overwhelming Buster. Chaos 3 shard in that one. Of course, we got a little bit of gold there and some crafting materials. Let me lock these just for the ease of auto selling. And continue onward, I guess. No such luck on that one. Like I said, I'm just kind of spamming on the upgrades. Still nothing even remotely challenging yet. They're just going to let it keep flying. If these Slakelions get close, then of course I will get in the mix with those. But anyway, I am back to AFK sandwich making. And let's let this run for 5 more waves. All right, and here we go with wave number 10. I got Slakelions starting to stack a little bit, but, you know, it's all good. We're still just one-tapping them still. Let's see if we have any luck in the wave 10 run. Still completely AFK. I think, to be honest with you, there's another maybe 20 more waves of full AFK. Of course, we'll keep checking in here at the checkpoints every 5 waves and see if we get any luck in the goodie bag. But for the most part, we are just chillaxing it out and letting this thing run. Now, I am debating, particularly when we get hexthrowers in, if I still do the run, I might just quit out of the run from there. But if not, I'm debating on swapping out my mass destruction double stack and getting rid of the regular destruction shard and going with deadly strikes to get a little bit more range. I think that could save the day a bit when it comes to the hex throwers. But let's see what we get here on this one. Almost there. Like I said, it's full AFK. I still don't have everything fully upgraded yet, as I have been just wasting lots of the ground mana and just hitting G and letting it evaporate. But we'll get there. We will get there, no doubt. I actually debated on spawn camp in this one a little bit to make the waves run quicker, but this is a nice chill build. And there we go, another plain bag here. What do we got in the plain bag? We have got Sanctuary, Heroes Inside Arcane Bubble. Of course, we get a little bit more gold. Still keeping on the lookout for mods, but nothing good dropping quite yet. So let's go ahead and hammer on along. I'm going to go ahead and grab this mana and throw a few upgrades in. And let's get to wave 15. All right, and here we go into wave number 15. Now, we need to get a chest. How the chests work, you know, every 5 waves, you're guaranteed a bag. There's a 20% chance that you get a chest. Now, the chest is guaranteed to contain a survival shard. The problem with bad RNG here, and all we're getting as bags so far, is you can get any shard. So your chances of getting a specific shard that you're looking for are pretty much non-existent. You know, it's just very, very, very slim. So with that in mind, we need a chest. There's a 20% chance every 5 waves you get a chest. And if you get a chest, you're guaranteed to have a survival shard in it. Now, of course, then we need the correct shard. So it's not going to be easy to get thick vines. But I figured, you know, I just wouldn't be doing the right thing if I didn't at least give it an attempt. Now, thick vines is not going to do as much for me as it would in other situations because I don't have great tree shards to go with it. Like, obviously, you'd want, you know, some vicious strikes and deadly strikes stacking with more range and add thick vines in as the 3rd shard. That would give you a lot more tree range. And that would actually get you up to the cap, the range cap with the trees. And as you see, we're just not quite there yet, even with some upgrades in. So are we fully upgraded on the trees yet? No, we're nowhere near. All right, let's see. Come on, chest. Just a bag again. So this has not been good luck here, that is for sure. We got Overwhelm, which, you know, is a usable shard. I will throw that in the alt here for storage. Still no luck on any sort of mods or anything. So we will just continue it on and see if we can't, at some point, get something worth keeping here. All right, and here we go into a wave number 20. Go survival chest. 20% chance. Of course, there's no pity system, so that doesn't mean you're going to get one every 25 waves or every 5 checkpoints, because probability just doesn't work that way. It's a 20% chance every time. So, I mean, I could end up getting them back to back to back, or I might not see one for 10 checkpoints. You know, we just don't know. Would not be unusual to not get a survival chest at all this entire run before I bail. Now, I do think I'm not too far away from maybe swapping those bees over to Deadly Strikes. I haven't gotten any assassins yet. Of course, assassins are going to come before hex throwers, so yeah, just kind of waiting it out. The assassins at the beginning won't be too bad. I am getting to a point as well where cannon ogres could start to be threatening. Right now, when I get a cannon ogre, they're getting like one shot off on the tree. But with the upgrades in, it's just not enough damage to kill the tree. But we're getting closer and closer to where cannon ogres will be a threat. And, yeah. Just battling RNG right now. I could potentially start getting some upgrades soon. Of course, I'm on my active hero here. I've got a lot of Chaos 4 gear. So I might end up seeing an upgrade. Oh, weird. I'm getting a little core damage message. We've bumped up to shiny now, but boosted blockade. That is actually something extremely usable if I had a monk in the deal. Since I don't have a monk in the deal, it's not going to do anything for me. Let's go ahead and lock those, and just kind of letting the materials stack up here. Eventually, I'm going to have a little struggle with my inventory. But let's go ahead and let it fly, and let's try it out at wave 25. All right, we are in a wave 25. Now, I think we've got 5 more waves, I think, before I need to swap out. But I think I'm going to take it even one step further and go with Deadly Strikes on bees and slimes. Let those slimes get out there bouncing a little bit farther, too. Now, after wave 21, of course, you're going to start getting assassins. So with that in mind, instead of AFKing on top of the tree, I'm AFKing on top of the slime. Not obviously a massive difference, but we are still just chillaxing it out here and just letting it run. The assassins pop, the trees are healing me through it, and then, you know, as the slimes spawn, of course, when they're attached to me, they just instantly go right to the assassin. You know, once the assassin is not attached, then the slimes aren't hitting them anymore, but they are going after them while they're attached to me here. So, yeah, it makes life a little bit easier getting that ignite going on them right away. So assassins are burning off quickly. Nothing a threat yet. I got a double roller lane, which still wasn't a threat. That could be a challenge. I might have to be ready to leave match really quick before I actually fail. We got a Scarnash here, which shouldn't be a big deal. Let's see. Yeah, Scarnash is a piece of cake. All the bosses still are no problem. The cannon ogres are getting that one shot off. And they are getting tougher. You know, the cannon ogres are coming out with 2 million health now when they do come. So it's only a matter of time before cannon ogres, and then, of course, hex throwers here upcoming, will add a little bit of spice to the mix here. But let's see if wave 25 was kind to me with a chest. We need a survival chest, not these dang bags. And still no dice. Another bag. Now, one thing to note, though, is I'm getting some decent stuff dropping. So this might actually be an ideal time to swap over to an ability power build on my active here. But let's see what's in the chest. We're going to have to make a little bit of room first. No 10 out of 10 mods. Clear up a little bit. And we got a Burning Strikes, which normally I would be just overjoyed about that, but I don't really care that Burning Strikes is, you know, I'd love to get one gilded here for this playthrough, but yeah, no such luck yet. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and make the swap now. So we're going to get rid of regular destruction. Let's just put that right there. And then we're going to add in deadly strikes to that. I actually don't have another deadly... actually, I already got deadly strikes on the slimes. I did not realize. So move that bad boy over, and yeah, we can just sell off the rest of this stuff. And no crazy luck yet. You know, I can actually... I don't think... Oh, I actually did get a slight champion score increase on my mule. Now, you don't have to equip the gear to get the higher quality loot that starts dropping. But you do, if you do equip it, you can see where you're at, you know, and you can see if you're getting gains or whatever. The information is recorded behind the scenes as far as the drops per slot. Of course, you need to get every slot full of that tier's appropriate drop before you're going to start getting the next tier. So it is an RNG battle here with increasing your champion score. And once again, you don't have to equip the gear, but if you do equip the gear, it lets you see where you're at. And I think we're actually finally full upgraded now after all that. So let's let it fly and see if wave 30 is going to be any kinder. All right, so we're actually dipping back in at just after 26 here. And we started getting mad hex throwers. The additional range on the bees was not enough. So I kind of want to make some changes here to the build, but at the same note, I'm not really sure what it is I want to do. I could throw a tree like up here and get some bees up front, but I'm not sure that's really what I want to do, but let's do it. Let's sell off some of this stuff. Oh, I never upgraded that bee. Sell off some of this stuff and get a little bit of upfront killing. See, what is that? 120. That would be 3 bees. So if we put a tree in, try putting a tree right here. I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. This is full experimental. Of course, I've never done a survival with a Dryad only before. This is legit my first time. So let's see how that works. Now, hex throwers are going to throw at the tree. But do we have enough range? We're getting all the way to the spawns here. Over here, of course, is a challenge. I feel like we could get one more bee up front on that side, but I don't want to thin it out too much. Let's do that, and then let's throw a bee as far as we can over here to get something going on those hex throwers. Go ahead and let it run for a wave and see how it goes here. I actually got a little bit more juice. Let's just get that tree upgraded all the way. We'll throw a couple of randos in. We've got that one upgraded. All right, let's just see how it's going to go. Hex throwers are going to be a problem, of course. They're throwing from... They've just got crazy range. So with the hex thrower range, you see I actually lost this tree. So I got no upgrades on it. I should probably get one down here. We're actually getting a little bit more spawn camp in. Yeah, see, they're throwing right at this tree here. The bees are getting out there. Reflect beams would be an absolute godsend right now. Or even apprentice walls to absorb those projectiles. Get some juice here in case we do need to go corrupt. Yeah, see, we got lots of shots going off. They're actually not doing any damage, though. And it's not, doesn't appear to be cursing anything. So it looks like that might be a nice, cheeky tree placement spot as the environmental trap is absorbing the curses, it appears. Yeah, this stuff is not cursed at all. And we're slightly out of range here on that bee. You know what? With that in mind, let's move that bee down a little closer. Of course, I'm going to have to worry about cyborgs. Put it right there. Get it upgraded all the way. Now, do I want to move another bee up? I kind of feel like I want to move one more bee up. Let's do it. And we want to make sure that we're hitting the stuff in spawn. The cyborgs I'm not as worried about as I am the hexthrowers. Spread them out a little bit, though, where a cyborg won't get both of them at the same time. What do we got for bosses? Bosses shouldn't be an issue here. Check it out and see how this this goes here. You see the Gobu Boom is still just wrecking face. I mean, we're getting a lot of good spawn camp in right there. Heck, maybe we can end up getting up to Chaos 7 on this run. Let's go ahead and skip on forward to Wave 30, though, and see how the loot plays out. All right, Wave 30 has arrived. Now, one thing I noticed is all of this stuff back here is not getting very much action anymore. Just these few bees are clearing everything at this point. So, makes me wonder, should I just move more up and just have like one thing in the back for last resort? As this is just an absolute powerhouse. It's just completely destroying everything. I think we got... Looks like we've got all of this new stuff upgraded already. All right, let's let it fly for wave number 30 here and see if this one will be the one. I'm still not going corrupt even. I mean, I'm going corrupt if I have to jump in on like a siege roller or something like that. But I'm just still just kind of chillaxing it out. So, I mean, once you get mass destruction, it is a very game-changing thing. Now, I, of course, am not getting what I came here for, and that is hoping to get lucky and get thick vines. But without getting any survival chests, I mean, it's just, it's like winning the lottery. You know, the chances of getting thick vines out of a bag are just, it's possible, but it's so slim. Now, we've got one other big benefit upcoming, and that is we have the potential... Okay, we got a sniper warbleed here. We better keep an eye on that. We do have the potential next wave of starting to get godly gear dropping on the ground. Now, the chances, of course, are really, really, really low that early, but the potential is there at wave 31 or higher to start getting godly gear drops. Now, every godly gear, of course, is going to turn into godly orbs, which in turn is going to give us a survival shard. I have no intention of upgrading any gear items to godly on this playthrough, particularly if I don't have thick vines yet. I want thick vines over anything else. Oh, and we got one. We finally got a bag. We got that heart is under attack thing again. I am yoinking the gear here just so I can do the old auto equip and see if we go up in champion score here. Oh, we didn't get a bag. That was an achievement. Or dang it, I thought we got a chest that. No mods still. Let's do the old auto equip. Oh wow, we went up to 4,800. A pretty big gain there on that one. Our shiny bag, we got enhanced poison. So, not a shard that I would use. Yeah, not a shard I would use even if I had a Huntress. Let's try another auto equip. That didn't get me anywhere. Now, I said I was considering maybe switching over. Now, that's a huge upgrade. Let's just go ahead and equip that. Don't want to get rid of any hero health, but I think I might anyway. There's an ability power piece. There's an ability power weapon, too. Couple of nice upgrades here for my active character, but yeah, anyway, we're going to push it a little bit further and see if we can't at least get Chaos 7 unlocked and just see how this goes. Now, if things go bad, you know, I am recording this entire video and then I'll edit it down to a watchable format after. But if things go bad, I will leave the match, hopefully before I lose. As, you know, like I said, the nature of this playthrough, if we lose, this series is over. So we don't want a loss. So let's just go ahead and let it fly and see what we can get to. All right, so here we are, wave 35. We did have a bit of sketchiness in wave 33. A hex thrower got shots off at this tree, which cursed this slime and these bees here. And at the same time, there was a cannon ogre on this lane. So it was a little bit of a close call. This tree took some shots. The problem is the cannon ogre was all the way down here, which means if the cannon ogre would have not aggroed the tree and would have aggroed to the core instead, it would have been all over. But another thing I noticed, now remember, we are only one Chaos 6 map. We've done one Chaos 6, and we see there's Chaos 7 dropping. Now, the thing with survival gear is it's random what you get. It could be a 1 out of 10. It could be a 10 out of 10. It's not tiered like it is in Onslaught or in Expeditions, which means with a little luck, we're going to be able to skip from having one Chaos 6 Expedition win to potentially Chaos 8 just in this one run. But here we go, wave 35. Let's let it fly here and see what we can do. Now, the hex throwers getting shots off on this tree made me wonder if I need to be doing something a little differently over here. I have been going Corrupt more as well. Now, the Slekelions, of course, are gone for the moment. But I've been going Corrupt at the beginning of the waves to kill off the Slekelions. And then additionally, when the big packs of flyers come in. Now, the benefit I have here with the dive bombers is dive bombers, of course, are just dive bombing these bees here. Or the slimes and not really having any effect on me. So I don't have to worry about like a turtle build with a Countess back here. A lot of times you have to worry about the dive bombers dive bombing into your defenses and your core. Don't have that worry. Now we got Quibbly here, 6 million health. Now this is the healthiest boss I've seen so far in this playthrough, I'm pretty sure. Let's see what happens to him though. I'm going to try to stay corrupt through Quibbly. He's actually getting burned off pretty quick. He didn't make it in range to start throwing at the tree, so we're in good shape there. No remarkable godly gear drops popping up in the chat there, as you see, which is unfortunate. But although they do have the chance to start dropping on the ground at wave 31, it's just such a slim chance. You know, your chances of getting them are just not incredible. What do we got? We got a bag. We got no chest. So we're up into the pristine loot now, too, which is quite nice. Let's yoink any armor or weapon pieces. And this is going to be a massive, massive champion score jump for me. Once again, you don't have to equip this stuff, but by equipping it, you're going to be able to see where you're at. So I'm wanting to see, you know, my champion score right now is 4,800. We want to get this guy jacked. Boom! We just went from 4,800 to 6,500. And we got Chaos 7 unlocked all in one go there. So good stuff there. Check the bag. We got Sharp Thinking. So it's a Chaos 9 shard, which is hot. But it's not one that we want. Not one that's going to do much for us. But we are into the pristine loot now, so we're going to want to keep all of this pristine goodies locked. And we can just sell off the rest. Now, this video, of course, is getting lengthy. Obviously, I'm going to edit it all down. But let's go ahead and skip on forward. And we may not make it to wave 40. But since I'm recording the whole thing and we'll edit it after, we will catch any sketchiness that may occur. Oh, we got no Slickelions. I didn't need to go corrupt there. That was a huge champion score jump. That was absolutely massive. And the reason is it's just the RNG. You know, you get up to the next tier where you're getting the next tier's loot. And, you know, you might get a 10 out of 10 popping off just in one wave. But anyway, let's jump on forward until we get a little extreme sketchiness here. And the sketchiness has arrived. Let's leave game. Oh, man. That was almost tragic. Yeah. Cannon Ogre's next shot was going to be on the core. So, did not end the way I wanted it to. But we got Chaos 7 Expeditions unlocked now. So, I'm thinking I might jump back in and try another survival. As that was just crazy, crazy good RNG. But anyway, there we go. That will do it for this episode. Thanks a ton for watching. Yeah, I will see you all next time. Take it easy.